Hello and welcome to Off the Record with me, Divya Singaravelu. Today, our guest on the show is a noted musician. He is one of the pioneers in taking Carnatic music to the electric guitar world. And not just that, he is also a noted film composer. He has composed the score for the 2009 Oscar-winning documentary Smile Pinky, and he is also an educationist. Please welcome guitarist Prasanna to our show.
Thank you.
Prasanna, welcome to the show. And speaking of taking classical and Carnatic music to the electric guitar world, how difficult or easy is it to play ragas on the electric guitar?
Well, it's obviously challenging to bring that vocabulary to the guitar because it's new from the perspective of a guitar player, and it was challenging but interesting for me because I was playing guitar anyway before I played Carnatic music, and I just didn't. I mean, I was 12 years old or something, and to me, like, you know, flirting is a better word. I was just flirting with Carnatic music, not so much I was deeply interested in it. It was more like a curiosity value to hear my sister sing or play veena and then play the stuff back. So I don't know if it's like difficult or easy. I don't think about it in those terms. I only think about the music. Can I communicate the essence of the music on the instrument? What all do I have to do to make sure that it sounds musical, it sounds authentic, and it has a value in performance? To that end, whatever else that I do to develop my technique, which I had to do by myself, and I still have to, and all the hard work and the hours that you put in is, like I always say, it's my problem. As far as the listeners go, if the music sounds right and if it makes them feel good.
When did you get this idea to amalgamate the ragas with the electric guitar? You started playing music from the early age of 10, right? So when did you actually begin to do this amalgamation?
Like I said, I was a child and I was just flirting with it, you know, because Carnatic music was in the house because my sister was studying vocal for many years and veena too. So it was in the house, but I was a rock and roll kid.
Okay.
Well, I got first into music. I got interested in music because, like everybody else, I was listening to film music, and especially the music of Ilayaraja, which still remains a very important part of, you know, my influences. But then I was also into Western rock and lots of other things, and I used to like plug in the veena with a piezo crystal through a distortion pedal and play power chords, you know, on the veena and like whatever it is. So it was all fun for me. So I don't know if I actually deliberately set out to do anything. And like many things, you just start things because you're just into the game, and then things take over.
So the kind of music that you play, okay, some of them like to consider it or call it as world fusion, while some stick to describing it as classical or jazz. You tend to play all these genres of music, right? But then what would you say is your genre?
Well, you answered the question. My genre is what I play.
It's variegated, but then what would you say is your, you know, or rather favorite genre of music?
I don't have anything like that because I don't. It's like asking me, what color shirt do you like to wear? I can't wear the same color every day anyway, right? I might have some preferences. I might like the color red, but I can't be wearing red all the time. So I just wear red, I wear blue, I wear black, and I look the same whether I wear red, blue or black, although I look different. You know what I mean? It's like I look the same and I look different. It's the same thing. And I don't think it's that hard. Like I just said before, I think human beings have an almost infinite capacity to do many things, and to be able to box in what we can do by public perception is just pure sentimentalization. That's what a lot of people do by saying, you have to spend all your time doing this because this consumes all your life and you can't do anything else. I don't really believe in that because I think all of us can do a lot of things, and we do. Every single one of us parallel process and do many things. So to me, it's all music. And when you ask me about what my music will fall under what genre, I cannot say that because I don't think genres.
Okay.
I just think music. I don't think jazz. I don't think. There are times where, yes, you know, in terms of communication, you use certain specific terms to say this is Carnatic music. And but what is Carnatic music? What does that mean?
Okay.
What does it mean to you when you're not a musician? Does it mean a few ragas and a few kritis, or does it mean a philosophy? If it means a philosophy, I'm interested in it. If it means a few ragas and kritis, I'm not interested in it. The same with jazz. Like my friend Vijay says in our album sleeve for Tirtha, Carnatic and jazz are just two vast sources of information. That's all they are. And I think it's a great statement. Most of these things are just sources of information and not style. Once style comes into it, I lose interest.
So what is your inspiration behind your compositions?
It could be anything. Most of the time it's not musical, or it's not music.
Should I ask who is the inspiration behind your compositions?
It's not always a who, it could be anything. Or maybe there is no inspiration too. If you just see, many times when I compose something that's not for any specific purpose, most of the time I'm just there with a paper and a pencil and I write the score. Or I'm, you know, on the computer on Sibelius software or something like that. Sometimes I work with the guitar. I have different ways of composing. And sometimes a musical thought occurs to me, and sometimes it's not a musical thought. Sometimes it's somebody I observed the evening before in a field, in a village, or some natural calamity, or any number of things. I think a composer is truly a composer when he or she is basically got his or her ears, eyes, and mind open, and then you just absorb everything, and then you reflect it in this abstract medium called art or composition, and then it has a quality that it can endear itself to people when it becomes tangible. And what becomes tangible is not the notes and the chords and the scales or the ragas. What becomes tangible is the emotion, and what becomes tangible is the process of creativity that goes across to people, which means they're subliminally part of the inspiration that took that whole music out in the first place, right? So it's a far deeper thing than any one particular thing inspiring you. I don't know if I'm making sense.
You are. That is Prasanna for you, talking about his inspiration behind the compositions. And stay tuned to me on NDTV Hindu, because we're going to talk to Prasanna about his compositions for films and his experience working with A.R. Rahman and Ilayaraja. Stay tuned.